This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Welcome to the Pet Health Coach. I'm Jody Teisch, and this is the first time that the Pet Health Coach is coming to Global Pet Expo. I've been here many years for Bark and Swagger, but we are going to be focusing on brands and innovations that help your pet live longer, healthier, more vibrant lives. So get ready, because I want to introduce you to ideas, brands, and innovations that, as I said, make things better for our babies. So we are here with Thomas Ling. He is the founder and owner of a brand called Kin & Kind, which is a natural pet care company. I've been hearing about Kin & Kind for a while now, and when I passed the booth, I wanted to learn more. I've heard good things. So Thomas is going to tell us a little bit about this brand that can help our babies avoid things we don't want and help with things we do want help with naturally. Hey, Thomas.
Hi, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us.
It is my pleasure. Tell us about the brand.
Sure. So Kin & Kind is a full health and wellness category brand. So we make everything from flea and tick to coat care to skin care to ear care. We also do a full line of supplements and pee and stain. And what brings all of those different verticals together is our commitment to cleaning up pet care. So premium and natural were movements in the early 2000s that kind of start to lose their meaning. And so if you look what's happening in cosmetics or grocery, there's a commitment to clean. And that means transparency, authenticity, ethical supply chain. So that's where we're trying to push pet care today. And so we define that by having natural ingredients that are certified by the USDA. So what is on the label is what's in the jar. It's made by our experts and our plant experts so that we can do solutions that are specific for pets. So that means we can do natural solutions that other people can't do because they're kind of taking off-the-shelf remedies that were designed for humans or for other things that aren't really tailored for cats and dogs. And for the ethical supply chain, we manufacture everything ourselves in the United States with our own facility, with employees paid a living wage. So that's the kind of information that a consumer wants today and that we're here to provide support for.
That's wonderful. We're in spring now. Weather is, come following along, hopefully soon. But that means flea and tick weather for people who are in seasonal climates. And you do have a flea and tick product. Tell us about that and the types of things that are in it that pet parents should know.
100%. So great question. We like to distinguish our flea and tick from two types of competitors. There's the conventional competitors, so that's like a front line, and then there's the natural competitors. So the comparison to a conventional competitor is super obvious, right? Those have ingredients that a lot of consumers don't like because of toxicity concerns. You occasionally get alerts from the EPA or the FDA that says there's been a negative adverse outcome, so people don't like those ingredients. What some people don't know is all of those EPA-registered products also have to be lab tested on animals. That means you've got live dogs and cats in cages exposed to live fleas and ticks, and then exposed to the pesticides for 24 to 48 hours because the EPA considers their ingredients more risky and they want to test it to see if there's a negative outcome. So what we rely on and all the natural competitors rely on is called the minimum risk pesticide list. So there's a small number of ingredients that you're allowed to use that the EPA considers to be safe, right? And so what distinguishes us from all the other natural competitors is because with our plant expert and our vet expert, we're able to do a sulfate-free solution. So now everyone knows they want sulfate-free cosmetics. They don't know why, but sulfates are bad for the skin. They irritate the skin. They're bad for the environment because they poison the waterways. And so those are things you don't want near your pets. But it's in every single one of our natural competitors, every single one, because sulfates are on the EPA-approved pesticide list, and it holds it together. It's a binder. So those two things make it effective as a natural solution, but that a clean pet care brand does not want. So that's why we're very different. And so what we're relying on is essential oils for our pesticides. So we're using peppermint, we're using cedar, we're using rosemary, we're using lemongrass. These are ingredients that are safe for use as labeled. So don't use peppermint for your cat, but that's why we've got a lemongrass.
I was just going to ask you about that.
Yeah.
This has been so educational, Thomas. Thank you so much. I am absolutely going to suggest this to my clients. And I suggest you guys look into it too, because knowing that this is a natural brand that is sulfate-free and that most of the other natural brands, if not all of them, cannot claim that, that is big. And it breaks my heart if any of you listening are still using conventional flea and tick meds. Please reconsider, because you are literally putting pesticides in your pet's body once a month, and it doesn't belong there. Thomas, where can people find you?
You can find us at pet specialties across the country. You can come to our website. You can buy from our website, but you can also see a list of your local retailers. We love our local retailers. So our website is kin-kind.com. You can also find us on Amazon. So we're easy to find. We're all over the place.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, and continued success. You're doing great work.
Thank you.
So my good friend Charlie Leggett introduced me to this brand that I have got to share with you guys. It's beautiful ingredients, beautiful treats. They smell great. And the philosophy behind the brand is something that I can really get behind, and I think you will too. I'm talking about Independent, and we're here with Rob Mellum. It's his company, and he's going to tell you all about it. Hi, Rob.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
It is my pleasure. Tell us about, first of all, what you do, because that's what pet parents are going to want to know.
Sure. So here at Independent, we try to produce the most quality products that we can from wholesome ingredients. And what we like to do is find ingredients that you would find in nature, that Mother Nature has given us. And we try to put those ingredients together in a way that Mother Nature intended. No preservatives, no so-called all natural ingredients that are not all natural. Things that truly come from the earth into our products. We also try to come up with things that you won't see anywhere else. So,
yeah, I want to talk about that. Let's just pull that bag over here that we were just looking at. This is a pork. We were looking at a pork, heart, and golden milk mix called Pears. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so there's a lot of freeze-dried on the market. What you won't see, so pork heart, you'll see around the show floor. What you won't see is raw goat's milk, organic raw fermented turmeric, organic ginger, and stuff like that added into the product. So we've tried to take, our whole slogan is everyday uncommon. So you'll walk around and every day you'll see freeze-dried. We've taken freeze-dried and made it uncommon. Same thing with our sticks. You can go online right now, you can go into a pet store, and you can find a ton of sweet potato sticks. What you won't find is sweet potato sticks with duck eggs in them, with duck, pear, cinnamon, dandelion leaf, so on and so forth. So we've tried to take these real ingredients that are really bioavailable and add those into our products that you might see these products in other bags, but not like ours. So,
and you said a very, very important word. First of all, the ingredients that you read off of the Pears treat is it. There's nothing else that he left out except kaffir powder, which is wonderful too. That is it. The word that you said, Rob, is bioavailable.
Yeah.
And what maybe some pet parents don't understand is you could have 3 different things of the same thing,
Yes.
and one is far more bioavailable than the other. What does that mean? It means that the body can assimilate it and use the goodness in it a lot easier and better than the other two.
Yes.
So, yeah, talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the analogy that I always use is it's great to wake up every morning and tip that little bottle over for a vitamin C pill, but when you eat an orange, you are going to get that vitamin C. It's going to cross across the cell membrane, and the nutrients are going to hit your body in a more natural way. So instead of being in this produced, manufactured little pill, you're getting it bioavailable from the earth. and your body is always going to assimilate to that. It's always going to receive that way better than the pill ever is going to.
Absolutely, and that's always true. Food, nutrition, it's the foundation of the house. I can't say it enough. I also want to talk to you about the way that your vision when it comes to how you sell this, because everybody's selling online today. You are not. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we're not because, so I've been doing this for 15 years, and my lifeblood is really in the independent retailer. So I like meeting with the mom and pops. I like meeting with the people that donate to your local soccer team, your local football team, your youth programs. When you go to, I won't get namesy, but when you go to these huge mass channeled places that you see on every corner in every town, when you spend money there, it's being funneled back to one central location, one central owner. I like working with the independents because it's actually making a local effect on not just that family and their kids. It's also having an effect on other families, on that town, on that community. So really what we're trying to do with Independent is build a community. And we want that community to be with like-minded people. That not that shopping online is bad. Shopping online has become very convenient. I buy things off Amazon. I'm not going to sit here and be a total hypocrite about that. But when it comes right down to it, I also don't always have an independent local shop to buy certain things. So to make it more convenient, I'll go do that. The cool thing about pretty much every town in America, they have a local pet store because everybody in America has pets. They're everywhere. They're the most... more households, there are more pets per households than there's ever been in the history of the United States. And we treat them like family now. I grew up on a 450 acre dairy farm where we had 12 dogs. They slept in the garage. They followed us in the fields. Like, I have 3 dogs now. They sleep in my house. They sleep in my bed. They cuddle up to me on the couch. So they've really become a real fabric of family. And so, I tell people all the time, if you have to set something down in front of your dog and they won't eat it, and you have to put yogurt on it to get him to eat it, if you have to put beef on it to get him to eat it, maybe you should be feeding them the yogurt and the beef and not whatever it is that you're covering up to try to get them to eat it.
Amen.
And I always tell people, would you do that to your kid? If you were feeding your kid, who's obviously a fabric of our family, would you make them eat something that they find just grotesque? And you wouldn't. You wouldn't put an additive on it to get them to eat it. You would just change it up and give them something that they want to eat. And that's really the philosophy is we want to make sure we're feeding our dogs something they enjoy eating too. If you had to eat the same carbohydrate or the same piece of pellet every day for your whole life, it's not very exciting.
No, and beyond not being exciting, it's like eating McDonald's every meal. It's dead food. There's no nutritional value. And there's things in there that could be very, very bad. So we're trying to educate pet parents on making better choices for nutrition. Where can people find you?
So first of all, you can go to our website. It's www.independentpet.com. It's independent without an I. It's not about I, it's about us. And that is why we took the I off of independent. You can go to our store locator on our website and you can punch in your zip code and it'll show you the closest store that has it. If there's not a store near you that has us yet, you can also purchase directly from us off of our website. One other thing that we will do is that when we ship your product, we will actually show you the closest store to you. And when I see that you ordered, I'm going to punch in that zip code and I'm going to go find a store to make sure that you have your product from an independent pet retailer. Hopefully you only have to order from me once.
You rock, Rob. I'm wishing you continued success. It's a beautiful brand. Thanks for talking with us.
Thank you very much.
One of the brands that I love, and literally I was just telling one of the salespeople for the brand, I picked up treats from this brand from my local pet store yesterday for my dogs, is a brand called Small Batch. And I love them for a number of reasons, but for me it's usually about sourcing limited ingredients, the right kinds of limited ingredients, and whether they fall into the category of food that I know is healthier for animals. So I am here with Nicole Erickson from Small Batch Pets, and she knows a lot about this product. And if you've never heard of them, she's going to turn you on to them. And if you have heard of them, you'll know more about them. when we're done. So Nicole, welcome.
Thank you, Jody. It's great to meet you today.
Thanks so much. So tell us a little bit about the brand, and then let's talk about why the brand came to be.
Certainly. So we are built on the philosophy that nature knows best and whole food is the best food. We are coming up on 18 years in the fresh food space. Born in the San Francisco Bay Area in California, the foundation of our formulating is the idea of slow food from local farms that grow and raise the right way into our bowls as quickly as possible with minimal processing so that we're really duplicating the formula and food design that Mother Nature created.
I love that. And I love some of the key words that you used, the farms that you connect with that grow the right way. Tell us about what's important to Small Batch as a brand when you are sourcing.
Yeah. So procuring raw materials for our products is the cornerstone of everything that we make, because even a fresh food diet is only as good as what goes into it. So for our standards, the foundation is sourcing humanely raised and harvested proteins. The livestock needs to live respectably and have an appropriate existence for their time on the planet. When they are raised without hormones or antibiotics ever, grass-fed and finished, cage-free and pastured, their lives allow them to mature and have the best quality, clean meat that we can utilize.
So true. I talk to pet parents about this all the time. Factory farming, in addition to the horrific life that these sentient beings lead, the cortisol levels in their bodies ongoing from that life goes right into our animals or us. And we don't want any part of that.
The pet industry is unfortunately a really big supporter of factory farming. As much as a quarter is attributed directly to pet foods. And we don't have to make products for our companion animals at the expense of the life of a livestock being. So for us to support the practices in the meat industry that are doing it right, it's activism by consumerism and being one less customer for the lesser desirable end of the spectrum, shall we say. And the same goes for our produce. All of the vegetable and herb that goes into our food is certified organic. It's non-GMO, but most importantly, pesticide-free. So we are not utilizing plants that have been treated topically. We're not putting poisons, pesticides, rodenticides into the soil, and thus supporting sustainable and regenerative agriculture so that we have farmland to continue to produce for generations into the future, because soil sustainability is the plant equivalent of, the factory farming versus humanely raised kind of dynamic in the food system. We need to be making sure we're looking towards the future to continue to improve consumerism.
Absolutely. And, we have enough to deal with our bodies and our pets' bodies with the onslaught of toxicity just living on this planet every day. We want to mitigate where we can, and we do have control over what we eat and what we feed them. So that's wonderful. Tell people a little bit about the different products that you offer.
Yeah. So we're known for our frozen raw foods. We make complete and balanced diets for dogs and for cats. They're available in little 1-ounce sliders and 8-ounce patties. So if you have a little creature or a big creature, we have something that works. We make bulk boxes of both of those categories for people that are looking for multi-pet household or a value buy. And then we have made our products more convenient by creating a line of freeze-dried counterparts for our raw, minimally processed, complete and balanced. The freeze-dried dog sliders are available in 2 different size bags in all of the proteins that we produce. We just launched freeze-dried, complete and balanced meal bites for cats. They've been wildly received thus far by the feline community. And then we've got a complimentary suite of really limited ingredient treats. We do freeze-dried hearts, which are both dog and cat appropriate. that super nutrient-packed B vitamins, taurine, zinc, iron, copper. We love freeze-dried hearts. The single ingredient jerky has almost a cult following because people love it for its simplicity. And then we do a short list of freeze-dried bites, which are either treat or meal toppers.
Love it, love it, love it. I think I got the hearts treats for my guys yesterday. So where can people find you?
Yeah.
Everywhere, pretty much.
Of course. Certainly follow us online on our social media at smallbatchpets.com or our Facebook, Small Batch Pets. But to find our products, please go on our website. We've got a store locator. We are loyal to the independent brick and mortar retailers. We want to send our customers in to the stores that invest in putting quality products on their shelves and in their staff to know how to speak to the best recommendations in the landscape and guide you to what's going to work for your dog or cat.
You know, it's interesting, but this is starting to come up as a theme, and maybe it's just a movement in the pet industry sector that is more natural and conscious about supporting the local pet store and supporting the brick and mortar that not only has the ability to choose consciously and wisely about what goes on the shelves, but are supporting their community and their families and their families. So it's a really nice trend that I'm seeing develop.
Yeah. It's a place where we have an opportunity to put the product at the forefront and not have it be exclusively profit and volume driven. So we rely heavily on the great people that are in our store aisles to share the great story of Small Batch brand.
Perfect. Thank you, Nicole, so much. I'm really happy that you took the time to be on the show.
Of course. It was my pleasure. Thanks for coming by.
So each year I catch up with Beth Summers, who founded and runs a beautiful natural brand called Pure Natural Pet. And every year we check in to find out what's new with this brand because we love to follow them. So Beth, hello, and fill us in.
I would love to. It's great to see you again, and it's great to be at the show. We've got 2 new products that I'm pretty excited about. One is a new dental wipe, and it's got some wonderful ingredients. It's got chamomile, organic parsley, green tea, vitamin E. So it's filled with some wonderful things, aloe vera, leaf juice. So we're feeling really confident about that because a lot of people have real trouble brushing their dog's teeth. So we're thinking that this could be a really good solution. The other product we have is called Stink and Stain Away, and it does exactly that. It takes stains out of fabric, out of carpet. You can spray it directly on your dog because it doesn't have any enzymes in it. You can spray it in a litter box because it won't hurt a cat. There's no essential oils. And we say you can spray it on your dog's anal glands when they do that scooting thing that is so fabulous. But it uses zinc ricinoleate, which doesn't mask the smell, it removes the smell. So it's on a molecular base. It totally breaks down the molecules and it takes the smell out. So actually GES, who runs the show, asked us to borrow it when a dog peed in the aisle yesterday. So I'm feeling pretty good about this product, and it's a great price and it's a great delivery system, so I think it's going to be really hot.
I have never heard of anything like this. This sounds like it could be a game changer, Beth.
It could be a game changer, and we're also thinking that we should do it in a smaller size so when people travel with their pets and they pee in the pet carrier, they pee on an airplane or whatever, they'll have a little bottle as long as it's small enough that it's not going to get confiscated.
Now, the million-dollar question is cat pee. We all know the intensity.
I have a 15-pound cat named Casper that I adopted last year. Casper has had his share of accidents, but he's good. He's really good. But I've tested this myself. So I generally test everything, but having a cat and cat piss is a whole other problem. So when you spray this in the litter box, it's unbelievable.
Oh my God, Beth.
No.
This is amazing. I'm going to find out more about this for you guys because I've never heard of anything like this. And I have a cat and 2 dogs, and I'm sure a lot of people out there can relate. So thank you so much, Beth. Remind people where they can find you and check this product out.
They can find us at pureandnaturalpet.com. They can find us in any of your independent pet stores around the country. Hollywood is a big one. You can also find us on Amazon.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Did you know that 75% of all dogs in the U.S. suffer from one form of anxiety or another? It is crazy, but it's true. And I'm here with a brand that has a very original product that could help some pet parents with dogs that suffer from anxiety because it's a great release, boredom buster, and helps to release the happy hormones in the brain. The brand is called Canifera, and I'm here with Sebastian Klafka, who is a co-founder of the brand. Sebastian, welcome.
Thank you very much.
So tell us a little bit about what this is, because I think I've kept people in suspense.
Well, we are producing chews that are made out of coffee wood. So basically, it's the tree that coffee beans are growing on. We use the branches of these trees and create products for dogs, especially for chewing. The good thing about the wood is that the fibers are very short, the wood is very tough, so if something breaks, it doesn't break into bigger pieces, so it's a perfect material to create chewing products for dogs.
I know that my little Sophie loves chewing on sticks in the backyard. You know, my other dog doesn't. Sophie does. I know Sophie's not the only one. A lot of dogs like chewing on sticks. This seems like a great way to be eco-conscious, eco-friendly, and yet solve a problem for dogs that are bored or want to have that release of chewing on something.
No, absolutely. First, a lot of dogs love sticks, definitely. We see it every day. The first thing, this might be a lot safer than a normal stick. Let's take pine, for example. If pine breaks, it breaks into very long pieces because the fibers are very long. So this will be definitely a safer product instead of just a normal stick from the wood. And the point with stress relief and anxiety is just a very important one. No dog, dogs need the possibility of chewing and to be allowed to chew on something in order to release the stress they have. They are bored. It's loud in New York. There are a lot of lights. Many dogs were bred for a certain reason, and nowadays they cannot follow up the reason. So that's another topic, So we need to give them something that just relieves the stress and the anxiety. And this is where we started to our brand, and we started with some products that are especially focusing on natural materials instead of plastic, instead of toys coming from China, where nobody knows what it's inside, So we have products from wood or really natural materials like sheep horn or antlers, and there's nothing in there besides what we know is in there.
So tell my listeners how this product came about and where. There's a story.
There is a story. So my partner Benjamin was studying forestry in Germany. He had to go to Vietnam to make some science research on coffee wood. This is what his diploma was about. I met up with him over there because we thought that this wonderful material, coffee wood, is just something that we need to create something out of it, because the only thing that was done with it before is just burning it. So there's a life cycle of a coffee plantation. After 25 to 30 years, the coffee plantations are renewed. So the old coffee trees are taken down and the new coffee trees are planted. That's a normal step that is done every year. So and before, the old trees had no use, so it just burned. So we tried to figure out what kind of product we can create out of it to give it a second use.
That is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So are you still sourcing from Vietnam?
Still in Vietnam. Vietnam is the second largest producer of coffee in the world, besides Brazil. Nobody knows it, but there's a lot of coffee coming from Vietnam, a lot of coffee plantations. We have 2 factories over in Vietnam. We employ around 120 people over there. We are constantly there ourselves, so we can control and monitor the production process itself, but also the workers, and to make sure that everything is basically by German standards instead of Vietnamese standards, which is very important for us. And Ben is 3 months a year in Vietnam. I'm 3 months a year in Vietnam to really constantly monitor everything and check it ourselves, instead just buying something from somewhere and don't know where it's coming from.
Absolutely. With these coffee trees, do you have control over monitoring the environment in which they're grown? Like, are there a lot of pesticides used to grow these coffee trees? That sort of thing.
Well, of course, we cannot control it, but we know what is happening. There are some things are used, but the good thing about coffee trees is that it's only used on the leaves, and so nothing is going into the wood that we need. The leaves are treated. That's quite normal, but nothing happens and goes into the wood. We tested it, and we test it regularly in laboratories. So we have. Paperwork that constantly prove that there's nothing in there that can harm a dog.
I love to hear that there is testing done because, we care about this stuff, and pet parents, as you know, are caring about these things more and more and more because it's so hard living in the world we live in with all the toxicity around us. We want to try and mitigate it somehow with the things that we have control over. So you're here at Global. Is this your first time?
No, it's the second time Global, and we had 2 times Super Zoo. So it's basically the last 2 years we attended to all the shows. It's great to be here in the US. We're excited. Like I said, the company's 11 years old now. 8 years we're making the dog chews, and now we're excited to be in the US and reach out to a new market and to many more pet owners to understand our vision.
Yes, lots of pet parents in this country, that is for sure, like around the world. Where can people find you?
Canofera.com, on Amazon, in pretty much all of retail stores. Check out your retail store next to you. If our products are not there, just ask about it. And I'm sure we can help everybody that would like to test out our product.
Wonderful, and that's Canofera, Canophera. Thank you so much, Sebastian.
Thank you very much for having me.
We're going to take a short break from our sponsor, but don't go away, because we're going to have more healthy, innovative brands that can help your dog or cat live longer, healthier lives when we come back. So refresh that healthy beverage, get comfortable, and we'll be right back.
How many of you have pets? My hand's raised. Now think about how lucky you are to have such a sweet little pet in your life, and that pet is lucky to have you too. But unfortunately, there are countless pets out there that don't have a home to call their own. However, Bob's from Skechers is trying to change that. So we developed Bob's for dogs and cats to help pets in need. With every purchase of adorable Bob's footwear or fun, stylish apparel, or even the cutest Bob's pet accessories, Skechers makes a donation to Petco Love to help save shelter pets. And with your help, we've already saved the lives of over 1 million pets and raised over $7 million. So while you're getting style and comfort with features like Skechers' famous memory foam cushioning, you're also helping to save an adorable pet in need and helping another lucky owner be connected with a future best friend and companion, because happiness is having a loving pet by your side. Find Bob's at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, select Petco locations, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Take a bite out of your competition. Advertise your business with an ad in Pet Life Radio podcasts and radio shows. There is no other pet-related media that is as large and reaches more pet parents and pet lovers than Pet Life Radio. With over 7 million monthly listeners, Pet Life Radio podcasts are available on all major podcast platforms, and our live radio stream goes out to over 250 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, Odyssey, TuneIn, Stitcher, and other streaming apps. For more information on how you can advertise on the #1 pet podcast and radio network, visit PetLifeRadio.com/advertise today.
Let's Talk Pets.
Let's Talk Pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back. If you've just joined, I'm Jody Teish. You're listening to the Pet Health Coach on Pet Life Radio, and I'm here at Global Pet Expo interviewing brands that are making innovative, fresh things in the health space to help our babies live longer. Let's meet some more. We have flea and tick season coming up, and this product is an interesting product. You know, I am very much a proponent of energy medicine. And one of the things that I use in my practice is frequency scanning to help pets feel better emotionally and physically, because we're all made up of energy, and every organ system and organ and cell vibrates on its own frequency. Well, this is a company called Fleas Gone that has a tag that you put on your dog's collar that repels fleas and ticks using what's called scalar technology, which is frequency technology, and it's very interesting. And I'm here today with Jat Patro, who owns the company, and he's going to tell us more about how this works. Hi, Jatin.
Hello. So the tags, we have multiple versions, 2-year, 5-year, and lifetime. It's based on the durability, but the way they work is they're charged electromagnetically, and they're charged at a certain frequency that was determined through a research at a university 25 years back in Spain. And at that frequency, they take a few days to synchronize with the heart of the animal. And once they're synchronized, they are basically a barrier. They form a barrier around the body that the fleas and ticks don't want to enter. It's the parasites in general don't want to enter, but the studies that were done with 25 dogs have been on fleas and ticks. It's a control study that was done. And 15 dogs had the tags on, 10 did not. They studied for 90 days, and this was done by the Faculty of Veterinary Science at the University of Spain, and it's on our website. You can download the reports. And they found that by 60th day, the fleas and ticks were all gone from the 15 dogs, not the other 10.
Very interesting. So from what you explained to me previously and from what you've just said, it's my understanding that the frequency that the heart vibrates on, and then the frequency that these studies found that fleas and ticks are impacted by vibrates on. When they come together, i.e. the dog is wearing the tag on the collar near the heart, they're like mirror opposites of each other, these frequencies. And when that happens, then the scalar is activated?
Yes, that's right. They're exactly opposite, and it takes a few days for the waves of the heart and the tag. And once they're in that stage, that's where the barrier is formed. That's where the scalar science comes into play.
And how long does this last?
The tags can last as long as you can make it last physically. So we do have different materials that they are charged with, and the 2-year version is made with aluminum. It wears out sooner. So we give a 2-year version with a warranty, a free replacement for the 2 years. We have a 5-year version and a lifetime, which is lifetime of the pet, which is for 15 years.
But the frequencies embedded in last for?
They last for as long as the tag is intact. So.
Got you. And you have the 3 versions. Are they 3 different styles, or they're just 3 different materials?
Yeah, the design is also different. Like one of them, the 2-year one, does not have the ring in it embedded, so it wears out at the hole over time much sooner than the 5-year and the lifetime tags. So the composition of the metal and the charge and our warranty, those 3 together, they make up for, what are we comfortable with covering under the warranty for how long. So.
Now, you told me that you tried this product as a consumer starting in 2002 with your cat. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so 2002 is when I actually came across this product in the US at a mall at Sharper Image, and I just picked it up because my 2 cats in Portland, Oregon, they always had fleas. And since I put this on, until the end of their life, which was several years later, they've never had a need for any flea treatment. And my next 2 kittens, they were 4 months old. I got them, and they're 6 years old now. even they have been on this tag. Not a single time have they ever had a need. Even though they pick up fleas by sitting on them in the backyard, we have vegetable garden, the fleas leave them overnight.
That is really, really exciting. Okay, so where can people find you?
So many veterinarians, over 70 of them in the past 2 years have introduced it, and they carry it. They're for the clients across the US and some in Canada. But they can anybody can go to our website, fleasgone.com, and download all the study material, look at every information that's available, testimonial and everything, and they can even order directly from us with the guarantee and warranty that cover the entire period. So
Wonderful. So fleasgone.com is where people can get more information and purchase. Thank you so much, Jatin.
thank you very much.
We are always looking for new products that today especially are plant-based. You know, they're good for the environment. They have no toxicity for our animals, of course. They're sustainable. And I came across this brand through my good friend, Trisha Montgomery. And it is called Augie Bones, and it is brand new, making its debut at Global Pet Expo. And Tanya Hart is its founder and fearless leader, and we're going to find out more about what makes this tough chew toy special and something you should know about for your animal. Hey, Tanya.
Hi, so nice to see you. Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. Tell us about this Augie Bones.
Okay, so we have a little bit of an unusual story in that we started as we are Titan Bioplastics. So we're a sustainable polymer engineering company. And so we drive our business through customer-driven projects and high technology in polymer sciences. And I adopted a dog called Augie during COVID, 90-pound American Staffordshire, and I'm giving him all the usual Nylabone kind of toys. And I'm seeing him chewing them down and gacking and taking pieces off of them. And I turned to my team and I said, guys, we're sustainable polymer engineers. Can we not make something that's completely sustainable and non-toxic for our dogs? And they said, yes. So 8 months later, here we are. We have a very tough chew toy. It chews like a Nylabone and a Benebone, but it's plant-based. It's non-toxic, so if your dog does, get a little piece here or there, it's going to go through them and digest through and leave nothing behind. And they can enjoy it too.
That is fantastic. Can you tell us a little more about what kind of plant-based product it is, like where it comes from?
Well, it's it's a PLA base with a variety of other materials in there. So you're looking at around 85% of it comes from corn or sugar. And then we have other various materials that we consider non-toxic and biodegradable that also will be harmless to the dog. So plant-based is really about using materials that come originally from plants that are synthesized into biopolymers.
Got you. And talk about testing this on tough chewers.
Well, Augie is a 90-pound American Staffordshire, so he was my test sample throughout this whole program. And if you look at my office, it's covered in all these different bones of the same, various shapes and sizes that we did along the way. It's been a fun project, it really has. And it's great to not just be out here doing a brand, but also saying this is possible to all these other companies. We want companies to come in and use sustainable materials for our pets. We spend a fortune on their food and what goes into their bodies and what they take and all the vitamins and all the programs we have now for healthy food, but no one talks about the toys that they have in their mouth all the time. So we're here to say, let's put a healthy toy in their mouth as well.
I love that. Where can people find you?
That's a great question. Well, we're launching at Global Pet Expo. We're setting up our distributorships and retailers now, and we'll be launching on our website shop within the next 3 to 4 weeks.
Beautiful. Lots of luck to you, Tanya.
I appreciate it so much, Jody. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Skin issues are one of the biggest challenges that we as pet parents face. And I know with my dog, periodically she will be licking, biting, scratching, and lo and behold, there'll be a hot spot. I'm sure I'm not alone. And I've come across at Global a brand new to market product called Proud Pet Patch, which is a better mousetrap for a bandage for your pet if they happen to have a sore, a cut, a hot spot on their front or hind legs. I'm here today with one of the people involved in the company, David Saunders, and he understands the inner makings of these patches and what makes them so special. So he's going to share that with us. Hi, David.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for taking the time. Tell my listeners a little bit about what this is, how it goes on, and then what makes it different.
Okay, it's a little difficult not to be able to show how it goes on, but it's...
Well, I'm going to take some pictures, and you'll be able to see this on the Pet Health Coach page of the Pet Life Radio site.
Okay, it's designed to replace the plain bandage that dogs tend to tear off because they can't stand having anything on their paw. And it wraps around, it's a belt from foam and Velcro, and it wraps around with Velcro straps. And we've done a peanut butter test. We've put the peanut butter on the top part, the Velcro part, and the dog will lick that off until it gets to the Velcro, and then it stops. It will not. No dog we've tested so far has torn it off, or been able to, or even tried to. They just sit there and look quite comfortable, but it allows the wound to heal, and you can access through a vent hole to put extra ointment on, or you leave the vent hole cover off so it gets air for a few hours, and then just cover it back up if it wants to go play outside in the mud and the dirt. And we found that the lick granuloma, as it's called, will heal within 2 weeks.
That is wonderful, because I know as a pet parent who's dealt with this, whether it's changing bandages or having to wrap around a, one of those ace bandages that you get at the vet or you buy online. It's just a lot of work, and the dogs don't like it, and they won't walk well in it. Some of them rip it off. Talk about the tests that you've done in terms of the dog tolerance for this.
Well, as I said, the peanut butter test was one of them, because we wanted to make sure that the dog would try to get at it, so we put peanut butter on it. So it, apparently dogs like peanut butter. I've never had a dog, so I don't know, but it passed the test. I mean, the dog would not go past the peanut butter once it's...
And they're walking around with it. It doesn't bother them.
It doesn't bother them at all. They just walk around, lie down, normal activity. The person who invented it, he has 2 retrievers or Labradors, and he tested it on them, and he keeps, every time they have a problem, which they tend to recur on maybe a different leg for a different reason, he's been testing it on them. And I had a lady come by the show today who's had an issue with her dog for 7 months. She's tried everything, putting everything she can on the wound to stop the dog from licking it, even as far as pepper, would you believe? And the dog has still got the wound, and she saw it and thought, wow, this is fantastic.
Yeah, it sounds like it could be wonderful. Also a good inclusion into your pet first aid kit. And again, you'll be able to see photos of what this looks like, and it's very easy to see how it's applied when you see a picture of it. And you'll also see a photo of that little hole that you can expose to get air to the wound. So if you have a pet who tends to do that, to create hot spots or has a wound, and you want to try something new and something that's less work for you and allows them to heal, you'll also see the construction underneath and how it's got these sort of layers where it never touches the wound. So it really does give it the chance to heal. So where can people find you?
Well, right now we're just selling online, but we've had a lot of interest from distributors at the show. Some very big ones, including people who put items on Amazon. So keep an eye out for it, because it'll be on Amazon eventually, but it'll also be available through other pet product distributors. We've had a a visit from Chewy and PetSmart. Obviously, they're big corporate.
But for now, if they want to try it, they can get it on, what is it,
Proudpetpatch.com.
Proudpetpatch.com. Perfect. Thank you so much for being on the show.
No problem. Thank you.
This is for all of you cat parents out there. I am one. And I'm a new customer to a brand called Boxy that I just came across on Amazon, guys, and was frustrated with another natural litter. And because Suki was tracking it all over the house. So I decided to try Boxy, which was natural. And I saw them here at Global and found that they have a new product called Eco Farm to Box cat litter that intrigued me. So I wanted to learn more, and you might too. Boxy, if you don't know, is an innovative company that tries to sort of bring a fresh take to everyday products that you might use if you happen to have a cat. And do you use more than cats? Cats, if you happen to have a cat. And I'm here today with
Ken Wilkes,
VP of Sales for the company. And Ken's going to tell us more about this brand new, fresh to market, Eco cat litter. Hi, Ken.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. How are you?
Excellent, wonderful to talk to you.
Tell us about what this new form of Boxy litter called Eco is all about.
Well, as the name infers, Eco is our sustainable option for buying cat litter. And we like to say, buy litter, save the planet. And that's kind of tongue-in-cheek, but it really does help to reduce fossil fuel use. We have a special farming technique with Eco where it's called no-till farming. And what that means is we don't use tractors to plow up the soil every year. Therefore, we don't have to use a lot of fertilizer to replenish the health of the soil. We kind of cut the grain the same way you mow your lawn. We cut it, it grows. We cut it, it grows. And the USDA did a study on no-till farming, and it actually reduces use on fossil fuel by 69%.
Wow, that's incredible. Tell my listeners what this litter is made of.
It's made of red wheat and perennial rye. And just like all of our products, we strive to create the best clump in the industry. So 99.9% of the cat waste is retained in our clump. It's a really strong clump. It creates a round ball that at first is just a little bit soft, but the longer it stays in the cat box, the harder it gets. And it gets so hard that if you lose your foosball on your foosball table, you can actually play foosball with our clumps.
That's very funny. Okay, wonderful. We appreciate the strong clumping capabilities, us cat parents, as I'm sure you know.
Yeah, we have people come up to us and say, Boxy Cat has changed my life because they don't have to clean their cat box anymore. If they're scooping almost 100% of the waste out every time, there's no need to scrape or scour. The box is a brand new litter box every time you scoop it.
That is amazing. When is this coming to market?
We are actually selling it now, so it will be available in your local store anytime, in weeks.
Wonderful. And will it also be available on Amazon if people want it?
Yes, it currently is available on Amazon. They're already selling it for us.
Wonderful. That makes it very easy for us. So Boxy, Boxie, where can people find you?
Go to boxycat.com, and you can see all about our company, about our products, and actually order them from us direct as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Ken. I appreciate you being on the show.
My pleasure. So good being here. Thank you.
Most of you probably have heard of Stella and Chewy's. They've been around for, I was just told, 20 years. They just celebrated a 20-year anniversary. They were one of the first in the raw space. And I came by their booth, and it is an experiential booth. We have Chef Daryl Rosenberg cooking behind the counter.
Live with Daryl.
Well, not literally cooking, but creating really, really fun things. So I wanted to know, what is Stella and Chewy's up to now, and talk a little bit about what Daryl's doing here. So welcome, Daryl.
Thank you, Jody. Appreciate it. Stella and Chewy's, we've been around for 20 years, started in 2003. Marie Moody, our founder, started this company, 2 rescue dogs, Stella and Chewy. Both were very important to the story, but it was Chewy that was a sick pup. And at that time, before she started the company in the late 90s, she couldn't find any ways to get Chewy back to health, and someone recommended reading some books and doing some research on a raw food diet. And so Marie started to do that, and she was able to concoct some of these different recipes and started feeding both Stella and Chewy's raw food. And within 90 days, Chewy went through this life-altering transformation for the better. So he was really the catalyst to the story. And then because of that experience and, it was a lot of determination to nurse him back to health, and she loved him so much, she wanted to share that experience with the rest of the world. And so in 2003, she started Stella and Chewy's, and she was basically selling raw frozen food out of the back of a taxi cab out of Brooklyn, New York.
Amazing. I love that. I knew a little bit about a sick pup and that the two pups were Stella and Chewy, but I did not know the depth of the story. That is a wonderful story. And selling it from the back of a taxi?
Out of the back of a taxi cab.
Unbelievable. Okay, so talk to me about what Stella and Chewy's is up to today.
So again, our origins is raw food, and again, our mission is to help pet and pet parents thrive through the love of raw. And, we believe that all you need is raw. And when we're talking about raw, we're not just talking about raw nutrition. We're talking about raw emotion, raw passion, that raw connection you have with pets. Really our job and what we're trying to do right now is find different ways to get pet parents to try raw somehow, some way. So I think Marie, when she founded this company, she realized really, really quickly that, most pet parents, the majority, weren't going to feed raw exclusively. But if she can find a way to get a little bit of raw into any pet's bowl, then that's how we were going to be able to measure success. Crawl, walk, run. So start off with a little bit and get them started that way. And then, boom, we feel that with the positive experience that we have to offer as a company, not just what's in the bag, but outside of the bag, that pet parents are going to try more and more from our brand. So to answer your question, really what we've been doing is just innovating and keep coming out with different products to really attack those different entry points that pet parents would be looking to get into a brand. So when you look at our portfolio now, we have everything from frozen raw diets, raw coated and raw blended kibble. We have raw treats. We have raw mixers and toppers. We have bone broth. We have a lot. I mean, we have the full portfolio. So anyone and everyone could be a Stella and Chewy's customer. And that's really what we're focusing is really making sure that we're able to educate people on raw food, but give them a place to start and more importantly, a place to go.
And that's such a really, really smart idea because part of being a pet health coach, part of being a health coach is meeting people where they are. Not everyone is ready to go the whole 9 yards today. So something is better than nothing. And so I'm really, really happy to hear that. Now, this experiential booth at Global, it's more like what you might find at, a food show than a pet expo. Tell us about how this came about and a couple of the recipes that you're cooking up here.
So every year we have a national sales meeting. And again, our product portfolio is just expanded. There's just a lot going on. And we just really wanted to change things up a little bit, think a little bit outside of the bowl, and find different ways that we could introduce our products to different people and have a little fun with it. Part of just staying ahead of the competition and our peers in the industry is just being creative and different. And so, at our national sales meeting, we had basically like the show Chopped set up, and all of the salespeople got together and we broke up into different teams, and everybody had all these different products to choose from, and they came up with these different recipes, and they pitched them to the executive team, and then they voted, and from there we were able to kind of tweak some of the formulas and practice a little bit, and decided that we really wanted to start this experiential booth at Global and also Super Zoo. And so what we're doing now is we took these recipes. They have multiple products from our portfolio in each one of the recipes. The cool thing about it is that if you shop at a neighborhood pet store, these are going to be in those stores, these recipes. And so at some point in a customer's shopping journey, they're going to be able to go into a store, and that store associate will be able to, give them these recipes. And for us, it's a double bottom line. We want the pet parent to have a positive experience, but we also want the pet retailer to be able to benefit from what it is that we're doing. We're a company. We want to sell a product. And so instead of just walking into a store, a pet parent can buy one bag of food, we want them to look at these recipes and be like, oh my goodness, and then they have to buy 3 or 4 different products and go home. Retailer benefits. But again, more importantly, the pet parent gets the benefit because they get to have this experience with their pet at home, make these amazing little recipes, and then give them to their loved ones, their 4-legged loved ones, and the rest is history from there.
Yeah. So give us an example of a couple of the recipes that you're cooking up here.
Absolutely. So we already did a pate pup pizza, which is a pizza that's over here. You don't have the camera, but there's a pizza over here. Then we used some of our, we used wheat, we used oat, we used some of our magical dinner dust and our Craven bacon treats and some of our canned food, and we made that pizza. For the cat side of things, we made tummy tickle and truffles, which was really fun. That's using our freeze-dried meal mixers, turkey flavored. We used some of our minced morsels on the cat can side of things with some of our shredded chicken and chicken liver. And then we coated the truffles with a magical dinner dust, which is basically freeze-dried dust. And so we made that. And now I'm working on Chewy's chicken pot pie. So instead of a pot pie, we're making a pot pie. We're actually going to be baking that in the oven. You can see that there. That's baking at 350 degrees. And that's using some of the kibble. We grind it up in a food processor. We're able to use 2 locally farm-fresh eggs. So since we're in Orlando, you have to use Orlando eggs or the recipe doesn't work. Just joking. And so then we also added some other ingredients there, and we're baking that now. And when that's ready, we're going to fill it with some of our stews, which have nice chicken meat in there, but it also has like carrots and celery and all sorts of vegetables that you can see. And we'll garnish it afterwards, and we'll have a chicken pot pie. So that's what we're doing right now.
That is awesome. And people will get to see it because I'm going to take some photos that they can look at on the Pet Health Coach page while they're listening to this interview. So they can see it. I don't have to ask you where people can find you because they can find Stella and Chewy's everywhere. But try and go to your local pet store.
Absolutely.
And support, right?
Absolutely. Yes, definitely NHP all the way. You know, we love neighborhood pet. We love pet parents. Our mission is to help pets and pet parents thrive to the love of raw. We want to be pet parents' number one choice in premium raw pet food so they can stay happy, loved, and healthy. No particular order there, but you know we're really dialed in on neighborhood pet, and we will continue to support neighborhood pet. We love neighborhood pet, so yeah, absolutely shop at neighborhood pet. And feel free, Jody, to take some of these recipes, and if you want to post them on your website or whatever it is you from a media standpoint you want to, feel free to do that, and you can make them available to your listeners.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Daryl.
Appreciate you.
Unfortunately, we've run out of time. I've had such a great time at Global, meeting these wonderful brands who are bringing very cool things to market in the health space. I hope you've enjoyed me sharing them with you. And I'm all about natural pet health and am a pet health coach helping pet parents to overcome issues, learn about nutrition, and learn about natural ways to heal. So until next time, hug those babies close, look for other ways to solve problems, and come see me at the Pet Health Coach. This is Jody Teisch. See you next time.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.